Straight Line MTB is here to talk about a bike that you're not going to have to beg your mom for an increase in your allowance. Welcome back to Straight Line MTB, and today I am finally excited to share with you my long-term review of this Polygon Siskiu T7, and it comes a touch under $2,000, and I'm just going to call it out right now as this has got to be one of the best value bang for your buck bikes that I have ridden and I can even find out there at the bike shop or online. I'm gonna highlight a few of the components, but if you guys wanna get more information on this awesome bike and some of the geo, go to our channel as we did a first ride unboxing review of this amazing bike. So for $2,000, you get a Diore 12-speed drivetrain, which is unheard of at this price. Go compare, go check out your bike shop brands. Yeah, some of your other direct-to-consumer brands. This bike really puts it together. You're getting a dropper post, which again is something that you don't traditionally see on a $2,000 bike. You're getting some Polygon components that just get the job done. Our bike came with Polygon Entity wheels, and they came with V Snapflow tires, and then Tektro Orion brakes. So you get a 4-piston up front, 2-piston out back. So pretty much all the braking you're gonna need for a bike to get you started, or if you're on a budget. This bike at $2,000, I really definitely had an expectation because I'm a guy who likes to ride 160, 170 millimeter carbon, 4,000, 5,000, sometimes thick $6,000 bike. So us bringing in this $2,000 bike, I definitely thought that it would be a lackluster experience and that I would be riding a $2,000 bike. This bike having 135 millimeters rear, 140 up front. It is outside of my normal preference of bikes, but I will say climbing on this bike was a great affair. I will say of all the bikes that I have right now, the Canyon Spectral, the Nuke Proof Mega, which obviously these are bigger bikes, this bike climbed easy. It was a 36 pounds out of the box stock, so it's not a light bike by any means, but I didn't feel that it was dragging me down, having a rough time getting up. Those V Snapflow tires were a bit on the draggy side, and I do think stock-wise they're a little bit too much for the character of this bike. So I did do some changes to this bike, which I will talk about at the end. But for the most part, this bike, the cockpit felt comfortable. The 76 degree around that seat tube angle felt comfortable, didn't feel slacker than it sounded. The reach is a 480. It didn't feel 480. It did feel a little bit more compact. I'd say the seating position felt very similar to the Ripley AF that I reviewed. So while compact, not uncomfortable, especially for a bike with just over 1,200 millimeters of wheelbase. Nice, very nimble. You can turn this bike around, hop around, tell it what you want to do. It's not a super slack monster that's going to be difficult going uphill. Definitely had the traction, but when things got a little bit more technical, you are searching a little bit more for some traction, but not outside of the expectation of this bike being 135 millimeter rear travel. Pointing this bike downhill again, all in my mind, I was thinking a $2,000 bike with a Recon fork. You know, the rear shock, I can't complain because this is actually a really good rear shock for this bike. Again, something you're not gonna find. You're gonna have a RockShox Deluxe Select Plus on a rear. For a $2,000 bike, it's pretty impressive. Again, back to that, I thought it would be not very much fun. It's gonna be chattery, it's gonna kick my behind. Very surprised. This bike is playful. That geometry, you know, let's set aside the 36 pounds. It did not play around like a 36-pound bike. You can tell this bike where you want it to go, and it has that character and that just fun. I just blown away for a $2,000 bike, how much fun this bike is on the downhills. You throw it around, have a good time. One thing I will say, the rear suspension, comparing it to higher end bikes, it doesn't have that refinement of something like a DW Link or something like a Horse Link, like Transition, where they're really kind of altering the rear suspension. But again, those are $5,000–6,000 bikes. This bike does just get it done. It's not something you're going to notice if you're just out there starting, but if you're like me, you're riding $2,000 bikes and jumping on something maybe 2 to 3 times more, you're going to notice a little bit Didn't hold me back at all. Again, just the poppy, playful character of this bike was amazing. I didn't feel any issue with the front fork being that Recon. It's a 32 millimeter stanchion, and I am over 200 pounds. You know, again, it's not going to be as refined as a Lyric RC2 or, you know, a Fox Grip 2 damper, but it gets the job done. You know, I didn't feel a ton of flex in this bike. It just felt really great. For $2,000, I have nothing to complain about. Being a $2,000 bike, generally when we get, you know, our first bike or something in this range, we're thinking, oh, we're gonna use it for a minute and then upgrade to like a $6,000 bike. While of course, we're never gonna stop ourselves from thinking that way or doing that, I really, really feel like this is a bike that you can invest some money in as you go. If you wanna get some even more in-depth recommendations from us, I did a video on just that, where to upgrade your bike, and we featured this bike, and it will give you some more ideas and some more specifics on what you can do. Again, this is a bike that I feel like you can grow with, and some of the smart components that I've changed, I think are great recommendations to start with, is the first thing, as you can see, I have some Stan's MK4 Flow wheels with some I9 101 hubs. That's an area where you're gonna save the most weight. I put some XM 1700 wheels from our Canyon on this bike, and I instantly lost 2 pounds. The next place I would go would be the fork. So on this bike, I put on a Lyric RC, so it just has the compression on the top. I lost over a pound just by doing that. And you're getting just a bit more small bump sensitivity, more stiffness, and crazy enough, it's lighter. So those are two areas. Those would be somewhere that would really transform this bike to the next level. Of course, you have some other areas with the bar. So this bar, the Polygon 35 millimeter bars are on the stiff side. So I would do something like maybe get a carbon 1-up bar, or even get a 31.6 clamp diameter stem and bar in aluminum, save some money, but also give you a little bit more comfort. You can also change your grips, again, give you a little bit more comfort. And another thing you can slide in anywhere you want is the brakes. While these brakes work perfectly, the lever's a little bit less refined. They do give you pretty much all the power you need until you're really blasting and smashing, but that might be something that you can look at. But all in all, the package for $2,000 on this bike is just phenomenal. So you are saving a little bit of cash to upgrade some of the key components to bring this bike to the next level. Wrapping up the review on this amazing bike, this is a bike that I would recommend to anyone who's just starting out and is at the $2,000 price point, or maybe you're just a weekend rider or a part-time rider and you want something that you're not going to break the bank, but you don't want to miss out on all the awesomeness of a full suspension bike. I can't think of another bike in this range that I would recommend to anybody. Bikes Online is where I got this from. Check the link below. If you buy through our link, then we get a little bit of kickback back, which helps us on our channel. Again, thank you guys for joining us. Please give us a like and subscribe so we can continue to bring you more awesome content. If you guys want to see what we're doing on a daily basis or see some of the crazy fun stuff I got going on during the week, check us out on TikTok and Instagram at straightline_MTB. And again, thank you guys for joining me, and we'll see you on the next video.